when you look at it from the Portland standpoint, there are about 2,700 people who are homeless from year to year, and we're employing about 400 people on an annual basis, but we're just basically kind of keeping up. So the more that we can do, the more people we can help become self-sufficient, and hopefully we can reduce those numbers of homelessness. I think when you talk about it from a personal level, we also help a number of people who might suffer from some sort of addiction, and I think most people know someone, may have a family member who's had some sort of an addiction, whether it's to alcohol or to drugs, and this is one way that they may be able to help them. We have people who might get into affordable housing, and they may have been homeless, they may have been suffering from some sort of addiction. They may have been recently released from prison, and they'll start this road of recovery to try and get back into a point where they are sort of stabilized and really can start to think about having a full-time job. And some people aren't necessarily ready to go back right to work. They've had a period of years without any sort of employment, and they've maybe fallen out of the habit, I guess is the way to say it. So we have what's called the Community Volunteer Corps. And the Community Volunteer Corps leads people on volunteer ventures, I guess you might want to call it. And so they might visit a number of different nonprofits, and as they're doing that, these people who were recently homeless are starting to develop some of the softer skills in terms of showing up on time, dressed appropriately, working with others, learning how to start accepting feedback and constructive criticism. And once they've completed those 80 hours, a number of people then might go to work for another department which is called Clean and Safe. And we basically have a contract with the city to clean the streets. And so you might see these guys going up and down the street, pushing what we call a barrel. It's a trash can, and they'll sweep the street and they'll clean the street. And that's a 6-month full-time position. That's for, we call them the trainees. And so they've gone from the volunteer corps, now they're their own trainees, full-time position. They're really getting in the habit of working. And at that point, then they might go to work for Central City Concern, or they might go to work for, or might try and find full-time employment outside Central City Concern through our employment services. The people that we're helping as they're cleaning the streets, and it's also part of the recovery. They are feeling humbled in their experience, but they're also interacting with people they may have known from the streets in the past. And so a couple of things happen there. Not only are they giving back to the community, not only are on their recovery, but those other people who are still on the street and are still homeless can start to see a path for their own recovery. They're able to start to see, if he can do it, then I can do it. And that gives them that perspective of, okay, here's my path. Now I just have to get connected with Central City Concern, and I can go ahead and work on my recovery. I can get affordable housing. I can get any health needs that I need taken care of, and then I can start to work my way out, or work my way to self-sufficiency through employment. And we have a couple of guys who work for us who, they fell on hard times. They had issues, and they were homeless, maybe had some addiction problems, but now they're just fantastic employees. They come to work, they're enthusiastic, they love their job, and it's infectious. I mean, it makes me want to go and work that much harder because it seems to have such a strong impact.